this is Janet Morana, Executive Director of Priests for Life. Welcome to our program. And guess what? We're going to talk a little bit more about third trimester abortion. You might be scratching your head and say, come on, Janet, is it really happening? Yes, it's happening. And we're going to give you a very shocking case today where I helped save a baby from a third trimester abortion. Well, joining me today is our Director of Communication, Leslie Palmer. Leslie, welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. And you're always great with researching all the facts.
Yeah, that's why I've got my trusty laptop, because I can't remember everything anymore.
I know, because there's so much to tell. So anyway, this story basically starts like in the middle of May. And a good friend of mine, a girl who actually had an abortion herself many, many years ago. And she's the regional coordinator for Silent No More. She went through abortion recovery and all that, and then she later had a daughter who she raised by herself, a single parent. And her daughter now is in her early 20s and was pregnant for the second time. First pregnancy, she gave birth to the baby. Baby's now a toddler. And she found herself with a different guy and got pregnant again. And she was carrying along this pregnancy, and everything seemed to be going swimmingly fine.
Healthy baby.
Healthy mother. Mom. And by the way, they're women of colors. They're African American, black. And, Joyce was saying to her daughter, don't worry, I'm going to help you, no problem. Blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, when her daughter got to be about the 7th month, this OBGYN that she was going to in Maryland said to her, well, you already have a kid that's 2 years old that you're caring for. You're young. You're only 24 years old. We could still take care of this. And her daughter went, what? Yeah, you can have an abortion.
Unbelievable.
In other words, it wasn't even in her daughter's mind at that point. But now this doctor opened the door to say, we can help you with this. You really don't have to have this baby.
It's incredible.
So is that incredible? First of all, Leslie, this girl is, first of all, she's on Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
okay.
So let's think about this. Mm-hmm. Now this doctor is helping this woman of color along her pregnancy. She gets about 7 months, and he says to her, you don't have to give birth to this baby if you don't want to. He plants a seed in her head, and now she starts down the abortion train, okay, thinking she's going to do this. Of course, she tells Joyce. Joyce calls me and says, Janet, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to talk to her and this and this and that. So anyway, P.S., long story short, I start talking to Joyce and say, Joyce, she knows it's a baby. She's already had another baby.
Right.
And by 7 months, oh boy, this baby's, we all know.
She's showing, she's feeling the baby kick, everything. Yeah.
That baby's doing somersaults inside of her. And I said, she's already seen the baby on an ultrasound by her appointments with this crazy doctor.
Yep.
So she goes, Joyce says, I know, Janet, I've tried all these things to her. I don't know what to do. I said, look, we got to try a few things here. Number one, does she know the sex of the baby? I'm sure she does. Oh, yeah, it's a baby girl. Has she given the baby a name? She goes, well, it's strange you should say that, Janet. She had a dream the other night about the baby. So she started to call the baby Baby Dream. This is my dream, my baby dream. Oh, so now you're going to abort your dream?
You're going to abort Baby Dream.
You're going to abort Baby Dream.
Yeah.
So Joyce said, oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I said, don't call it the baby girl. Call her Dream. Say to her, oh, how's Baby Dream doing? Yeah. Did she keep you up last night? Was she kicking a lot? In other words, identify that baby. Put more humanity onto it. So she goes, that's a great idea. And then, this is where you can help me with some stats here. I said, now come on, Joyce. We all know the stories about some women of color who had second and third trimester abortions and ended up dead, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So why don't you give some of those?
These are mostly second trimester abortions, but then we'll also talk about the one that we know of in Maryland. Okay, let's see. We've got Tonya Reeves, 24, mother of a 1-year-old son. She went to a Planned Parenthood in Chicago for a second trimester abortion. They let her bleed for hours before taking her to the hospital, where it was too late to save her. Lakeisha Wilson, 22, the mother of a 2-year-old, went to a preterm clinic in Cleveland for a second trimester abortion. Her blood pressure dropped. She had trouble breathing. Finally, they called an ambulance. Ambulance had a hard time reaching her because the elevator was broken and they were on the 3rd floor, and she died a week later. Jamie Lee Morales, 30-year-old, lived in Buffalo, New York. An abortionist in Queens, New York, botched the first attempt at a second trimester abortion, so performed a second. And bleeding heavily, they discharged her anyway, and she died. It's just unbelievable. 23-year-old Keisha Atkins was 24 weeks pregnant in Albuquerque when she went for the multi-day procedure. On the third day, she was in terrible distress, unable to breathe, her heart racing. The last words she said to her mother was, I think I'm going to die. And she died.
She did.
Yeah,
right.
It's just insane.
So then I said to Joyce, I said, don't you remember those women, those women of color and their stories? She goes, you're right, Janet. So what she did was she printed out the stories from her printer because they're up there on the internet. You can find them. See, don't believe me and Leslie. You can find these stories. So she took them to her and said, you want your little daughter to have no mommy? You want to be like some of these girls? And her daughter started thinking. She goes, after all, what did you tell me? She said, you don't want me to raise your kids. You want to do them yourself, right? She didn't want Joyce to raise her kid, right? So I said, well, harp on that.
Yeah,
say,
you die. Yeah.
You could die.
Yeah.
You're thinking about this doctor's trying to tell you, oh, you're not married. It's a second kid. You don't have to do this. But you want to lose your life?
Yeah.
Or you could use your future fertility because, oh my gosh, go to Silent No More website and read all the testimonies, testimony.com, and read the stories of these girls who the only kid they could conceive was the one that
they aborted.
They aborted because of damage.
Absolutely.
Oh, so anyway, long story short, we went through this for weeks, and then of course I went in the hospital to have knee surgery in June. And then I come out and eventually talk to Joyce. She goes, oh, we're working on it, but I finally got her turned around. She's going to have the baby. Thank God. She canceled the appointment, and we got her to change doctors because she can't keep going to this guy because he's going to keep pushing an abortion at you.
Right.
She got her to switch to another doctor in Maryland who would take care of her and deliver the baby. And then, here's the good news, on August the 4th, I got a beautiful picture, and I'm going to ask there's the baby. There's our little baby dream.
Beautiful.
Isn't that baby gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous? I mean, and look at the size of her. That baby was 11 pounds, 11 ounces on August 4th at birth.
That's a big baby.
Huge baby. Yeah. Of course, her daughter had a C-section, but she's doing fine. Joyce is staying with her daughter and helping her. But the ironic thing is Joyce counted back with her daughter. When this doctor started to say, I can take care of this and you can have an abortion, at 7 months, the ultrasound, that baby was already over 5 pounds. Yeah. So that doctor was willing to kill a 5-pound healthy baby, and Medicaid was going to pay for it.
Well, that's the thing. We're in Maryland, no limits on abortion. Medicaid's paying for it. A third trimester abortion like that can be $15,000. So that doctor would have gotten a nice payday. I don't know that was his motivation, but
here's why life is always a good. Okay, so now she has the baby on August 4th, and suddenly the Catholic Church, even though they're not Catholic, the nearest Catholic church came forward, their Gabriel Project, and brought her all kinds of baby equipment that she needed. And the local pregnancy center also is kicking in. And here's, just the other day, Joyce called me, the father of the baby, who was out of the picture, found out she had this beautiful baby girl. He told her, I'll do a paternity test, and if that's my daughter, I want to be in her life, and I want to help you with that baby.
Oh, well, praise God.
Praise God. So see, the moral of the story is, like St. John Paul II says, life is always a good.
Yeah.
And what seemed like, the doctor was peddling this abortion to her, it seemed like a good out for her.
Yeah.
It could have killed her, damaged her fertility.
Yeah.
And instead, she finally listened to her mother and all the stories we were giving her. And she said yes to life. And look, come on, let's put a baby dream again. I mean, she is so gorgeous. Look at that baby. So gorgeous. And now she'll have a sibling to play with.
Yeah, right.
And the father of the baby wants to get involved now. And so abortion's never the answer.
No,
never the answer. I mean, just how close that baby came to being aborted. So, and you have more stats there,
well,
right?
we wanted to talk a little bit about Jennifer Morbelli and a third trimester abortion. This was just a truly tragic story. A young couple, she was 29 years old, married to her high school sweetheart, I think he was, and
He was.
pregnant, and they had
It was their first child.
First child, very wanted baby. They named it was a girl. They named her Madison Lee, and then
They even had a baby shower.
A baby shower, yeah.
They even had a baby registry for her.
Yep. And the doctor told her that the baby was going to have a seizure disorder and maybe she would want to consider terminating. So at 33 weeks, she and her, let's see, it says her parents, her sister and her husband all went to Maryland to the clinic of Leroy Carhart, who was a, what do they call him, circuit rider abortionist.
Yes,
did
he
abortions
killed babies in
Maryland,
Colorado, Maryland.
in Nebraska, I think.
Yeah.
So it says, the entourage arrived at Dr. Carhart's clinic on a Sunday. After signing in, filling out papers, and leaving her family in the waiting room, Jennifer allowed a lethal injection to be shot through her belly into the heart of her unborn baby girl.
Well, see, that's what they do.
They
and that's
kill the
what
baby.
happened to Baby Dream. They
Right.
would have killed
They
the
would have
baby
killed her.
first.
Right, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So late-term abortions are done in stages. So Jennifer and her family returned on Monday to begin the second phase of dilating her cervix. The plan was, with the help of hormones, she'd expel the dead baby by Wednesday. Visibly weakened, Jennifer returned again on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, delivery day, a lethargic and ashen Jennifer returned to the clinic to deliver Madison Lee. It took 9 hours to rid her body of the lifeless baby. By Thursday, she was experiencing chest pains. And the family repeatedly tried to reach Carhart, who was unavailable because he had already flown off someplace else to do abortions. So on Thursday at 5 a.m., they took her to the hospital.
Right.
Yeah,
Because they're still in Maryland now.
Right, yes. And the hospital finally did get in touch with Carhart, but he was unavailable to provide informational assistance to the medical personnel.
Unbelievable.
And 9:30 a.m., 3.5 hours after arriving at the emergency room, Jennifer died.
Yeah. And I remember that story so well because the pictures in the local paper in Westchester County had the pictures of the husband, young guy, going into church and the caskets being taken in of his wife and his daughter, Madison.
Yeah.
So tragic.
Yeah.
And for a seizure disorder?
For a seizure disorder.
Do you know how many people live with seizure disorders? Yeah. And there's medications. I met someone on a plane who had a seizure disorder because she had a dog with her, a small little dog that was, what do you call that? Service dog. And this dog was trained to know and she had to keep her leg by the dog. It was so cute. And the dog would know if she was going to have a seizure in time for her to take this medicine she had with her and inject herself.
Oh, wow.
So she wouldn't have a full-blown seizure. So there's all kinds of modern things they do
And
now
who
for
knows,
seizures.
Who knows? You know, if they would,
If there was even true.
If it was true, yeah.
Oh, because I could do another show on all the people who got
We've heard so many
stories about wrong prenatal diagnosis.
Right. Yep.
But this is a tragedy. He lost his wife and daughter. That mother lost her daughter and granddaughter.
Yep. Yep.
For what? It's horrible. And brothers and sisters, this is just a fraction of the stories that we know.
Yeah.
Anything else there, Leslie?
Let's see. Well, just when we were preparing for the show, I started looking into chemical abortion, and it's being pushed now.
Off-label.
The World Health Organization says that it's safe through 24 weeks, and there are and there's a push on to do it to actually. Let me look for this quote. The combination of mifepristone and misoprostol is considered a safe and effective method for third trimester pregnancy termination.
Oh my gosh.
So they're looking to do chemical abortion all the way throughout. In Sweden, they do it up till 22 weeks or 28 weeks, I think. 97% of abortions in Sweden are done through chemical abortions.
Unbelievable.
So it's like they just want to, and they're expensive also. It's not a cheap thing. They just want women to just go do it yourself. Give us the money, go do your abortion by yourself.
That's horrific. To
It is.
deliver a baby.
A full-term baby.
Yes, dead.
Possibly dead.
Possibly
maybe not dead.
Well, that's the whole scary part.
Yes.
I think we're going to have to do more shows on this, Leslie. There's a lot more to say.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining me.
Yes, well, thanks for having me.
Well, brothers and sisters, we're telling you the truth, and you've got to speak this truth. And you know, you can also save a baby just like I helped save that baby. Don't be afraid to speak up, offer suggestions. And we're going to be back with another show to tell you about how there's the language of love and how to talk someone out of abortion. Because you know what? There are some abortions only you're going to be able to stop. And therefore, some lives only you can save. Join us again next time. Thank you, and God bless.
Hey everyone, this is Patrick Novakoski of Nova Media. I've known Frank Pavone and Priest for Life for decades, and I encourage you to check out the great work they're doing. They're one of the great apostolates in the pro-life movement and continuing to inspire and guide the pro-life movement to victory and helping moms and saving babies. So please check out everything that they're doing, and God bless you.
The fight to save the unborn will continue long after the Lord calls us home to himself, and so will the work of Priests for Life. You can continue to support that work even then by planning to include Priests for Life in your wills, bequests, retirement accounts, insurance policies, and more. Make this mission part of your estate planning by asking our team of experts about your different options. Please call us at 321-500-1000 and tell us you are interested in supporting Priests for Life through your estate planning. Join our Priests for Life legacy family and let your love for the unborn continue long beyond your lifespan.